Welcome to Steven Johnson Stocks, everybody! Welcome to Steven Johnson Stocks! Yeah, another green week. Rounded off the month, I was with Daniela, who's a girl that I'm seeing at the moment. Rounded it off by drinking a bottle of Hibiki Japanese whiskey from the Suntory factory. Fujicha! Really, really nice whiskey. And it's cool because it's like £80 a bottle, $200 for US people. And it's nice to be able to do little things. So thinking, well, I made $200 last month in the market, or 140 or whatever. I'll just treat myself to an expensive bottle of whiskey. And it was unbelievably good. Unbelievably. We drank it listening to some Beethoven, which normally I think classical music's a bit gay. This particular piece was good. But let's get into like, how does it feel to be profitable? And it feels okay, but you're always scared about losing it, and you're always thinking, like, I didn't trade yesterday and I missed the market, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to catch up now. So there is that extra responsibility because you've got something to lose. Before you didn't really have anything to lose. Now I have. Best advice I can give though is just track your winning percentage. And people also say, how did you stay through like not getting disheartened for a year and a half? And it was like, because I was winning 20% of trades, then 30%, then 40%, then 50%, then 60%. Then all of a sudden, all you have to do is let your winners run more than your losses, and you're profitable. So don't get disheartened. You will get there. It's quite good when you are there. It's not amazing because you just want to make more and you think, oh, I could just lose it all tomorrow. But it's good. Some quick comments. Violetora, these videos are super helpful. Did you start with penny stock and silver, then transition into the challenge? And if so, does either plan contain some of the DVDs, penny stock and part day and stuff like that? For me, Tim Grattani's DVD is extremely helpful. And I went to one of the market masteries in Italy and I spoke to Roland a lot, and that was very helpful. But yeah, I did go silver to the challenge. Ernest Rules, good to see persistence and dedication. Thank you. I am hungover as fuck. It's really difficult to be dedicated to film this video. I almost just didn't want to get out of bed this morning. I just wanted to die. Deep, this is the video I've been waiting for, brother. You said you would make it, and I couldn't be more happy for you. It felt good to watch. Thanks for these past couple of months. I look forward to the upcoming months to see you scaling up and watching the profit chart go higher. Good job, Stephen. We will make it. And absolutely, like, shouting off the balcony, we will not fail. We will not fail. And I'm committed. The question is, are you committed? I'm not going anywhere. Are you going to go anywhere? Are you going to keep watching? And you're going to keep learning and studying and trading and going to get better? Because 95% lose. And I will leave you with that. This game is not easy. The people that win are the obsessive ones. This is why I feel guilty about drinking a bottle of Japanese whiskey last night. I drank half. Daniela drank half as well, and she's somehow fine where I wanted to commit suicide. But let's just get into the trades. What's up? What's up? Okay, back to this. God, I've been doing this for so many months now. From June 2016. Mental. Yeah, you guys know the drill. Winning percentage was in the 16s and 18% when I was just starting. I couldn't win a trade to save my life. And then, yeah, I mean, December, January, I really remember thinking like, I'm starting to get it now, like, I was like, you really have to look at the chart's past history, and the sector matters, whether it's biotech or finance, and the biotech's kind of trade in similar ways, and the IBB that's the ticker that like gives you the it's a barometer for how all biotechs are doing. It's like a reference, and I was like, and then kind of, I needed a few more months, but it was definitely getting there. And then, yeah, March, April, May, June, July, just getting used to the volatility. I think it was in June I met Roland in Italy, and he was like, dude, you need to short into resistance and buy on support. The closer you get to those lines, the more likely you are going to have better risk reward. And I was like, right. So I'm not going along with ascending triangles and stuff. And he was like, no, that's what everyone does. And I'm like, fuck. And then after that, obviously, yeah, I started winning 60%, like 40, 60, 65. I was starting to get in the 70s. And yeah, and then this month, and then it just all clicked and all come together, and now I'm more fine-tuning. I had a really sloppy start of the week. It's one of the worst weeks I've traded. Just a lack of discipline after securing my first green month. Got away with a couple of bad habits. really, 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 really needed to not iterate them. But yeah, and even the normal patterns that I normally track, the gap and craps and the first down days, I haven't seen too many of them. So I mean, the last one I literally saw was October 2nd VHC. So I didn't really see any this week. And yes, this spreadsheet is for sale still for $75 if you guys want it. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be a bit more selective with my trades, and I wanted to make $500 this month. So I'm 60 up, but I really need a big week. Like I need a big week where I win $200, $300, $400 in the week, or $200, $300 in a trade even. Because that's what happens. You're in and out. You have these little scratches, as Tim Sykes likes to say. But every now and then, a big trade comes along when you're in the right place at the right time. Yeah, I mean CLSN was the long of the week, and I was in another brokerage account which I don't have much funds in, so couldn't take as big a position. But I'm trading small longs anyway. But 70 million shares traded. I'm pretty sure CLSN is cancer, so it's a hot subject. And it's got a 2 million float and it's traded 70 million shares. So immediately in the long term charts, not necessarily a bad one. I mean, this is its 2 year chart. And it has kind of gapped and ran before, you can see. Never holds its highs though, which is why you had this big gap down here. But for me, with big volume, low float, it's in a good sector. And this was Stocks Trade Pro. Tim Bowen actually pointed this stock out. But it's hard to miss. I mean, when it's got this kind of volume and it's running 200% on the day, from the 2s to the 6s. But for me, it's a bit risky getting in the morning for the morning push. A lot of people will buy this pre-market highs level here. I guess I can use markers again. Line tool. So when it breaks this pre-market high, if you can get in on a dip in the 2s, you've got 70 cents of upside there. But a safer entry, which was my entry, was this double bottom. So it's bottomed, and then the volume, it starts to build up again here. So you're looking for a bit of volume. You're looking for these higher lows. You can see these little higher lows. But the problem is, it's scary. Like when there's so much volatility, and each candle's jumping up and down so much, you've got to just hold your nerves and trust. And then obviously, if it doesn't have these higher lows, then get out of the stock because it might crash at any point. But as long as you're getting this is really zooming in. So here's the double bottom. As long as each candle, the wicks are getting a little bit higher, then you're on for a break, and it kind of dips a tiny bit, yeah, but then boom, you're away. So I was in around the 240s. I think I originally took a tiny position here, just fear of missing out. But with knowing that I was going to go full size, so I got in full size in the 240s or whatever, full size for my account size, and then I sold that 275 into the push. But again, it had this another kind of double bottom here, and then it pushed all the way to the 370s. This is KNDI, and I was short on this, and in hindsight I kind of shouldn't have been. Not too bad a downtrending chart. It's not really downtrending. It's obviously had news here where the volumes come in, and it's broke out of this level here. I mean, probably it's better to use lines. We've got the kind of a multi-month breakout here, and then we've got like a multi-year breakout here, or even here. And I was shorting it on this day here, on its third day, thinking this is fair enough. It's broke out, but it's up from the 3s to this point to the 8s, and it's on news of it expanded its efforts in China. See if I can bring up the article. Here we go. There you go. Brought it up like 10 times. First ever renewable energy automotive institution established in Hangzhou, whatever. Candy Electric Vehicles Group has signed a contract to join an agreement to open up a center in renewable energy in China. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. There's no like financial figures, but they are expanding. They do make money as a company, so I should have been a bit more hesitant. But for me, I just saw this break from the 6s to the 830s, and I was basically thinking that looks. I mean, the news came out on this day, then it held its highs, and then it squeezed up. And I was thinking, ugh, it seems like a bit of a big move. It should come back down. So when it was making these lower highs, downtrending here, lower high here, I got short pretty much in the 7. I got short in 810. So it's pretty like 810 here. And I was waiting for that kind of lower high and for it eventually just to crack, because it looked like a bit of a squeeze because there was no catalyst on that day. So I thought it was a bit of a squeeze, but it didn't. It made this higher low, grinded, and when it popped here, I probably should have cut it. I didn't. I averaged up in the 830s, averaged up more in the 850s, and then I watched it come down, bounced, shorted a little more here again to get me position up, and then when I hit 8 the first time, I was waiting for the crack that I'd anticipated all day. So when it didn't come, it popped back up again, and then when it was starting to crack, when it cracked 8, I covered a lot. Then I covered a lot. I covered some in the 790s, and then the next day, I covered the rest out into this washout in the morning. So, and I was completely out of my position in the 8s, and then obviously it did actually pop back up again. So in hindsight, not the best trade. Playing with fire a little bit, averaging up on this squeeze, but I really thought the stocks heavily shorted, so I did anticipate that it would crash, and I still think it will crash, but I'm not going to touch it again. Okay, this is something I don't usually do, and that's listen to Beethoven, but this song in particular, it's called the Moonlight Sonata by Beethoven. In it, it's all about the story for me. And Beethoven is deaf, right? And he writes this piece of music for a blind girl, and it's the blind girl wanted to know what the moon looked like. Such a simple request, and he wrote this music to try and communicate the visual of the moon through the spirit or the essence or the notes that he's orchestrated in his song. And it's such a beautiful story to think that this is how he feels the moon should sound like. And I love that, and I love the dedication and the craft that Beethoven had to produce such brilliant pieces of music. But that's not really what I came here to talk about. What I came here to talk about is that when I think of this song, I think of 9:30. I think about the bids coming in, the stock spiking, the volume, hundreds of thousands of shares being traded in a fucking second as the runner of the day begins to run. I think about the ass getting took out, or when you're short in a stock and the bid is getting hammered, support is falling through, and that stock is about to crack, and you're waiting for that glorious fucking moment. I'm thinking about sometimes the solitude of being on your own and just studying and watching the DVDs and watching the video lessons for hours and hours and days and weeks and months to achieve fucking greatness. Comment Beethoven. I'll see you later.